What's cracking, pretty people? If you don't know me, my name is Gypsy and I'm a doll collector. I collect all kinds of dolls, but primarily Barbie and 1/6 scale fashion figures. So today I done got my hands on the Barbie X Noonoouri double set. They're very controversial dolls, alright? So I was contemplating doing this video on camera to get my own reaction in real time because there's never been Barbies like this before. But honestly, I can't be bothered, alright? So we're just gonna do it the way we always do it. First, I want to appreciate this box because it is massive. I mean massive. Like, I thought the You Create Barbie Basics dolls came in a giant box. This box is like 3 of those put together. Look at this thing. And if we turn it around, we've got the dolls there posed. A very nice little photo shoot pic. A little blurb about Noonoouri and the character and the significance of it. If you're not aware, this character is actually a digital influencer, I'm saying that with air quotes, who's the first digital artist to sign an actual, like, real record deal. It's all ridiculous, okay guys? It's completely nonsense, but that's the era we're living in. So Barbie decided to do a collab with the creator of Noonoouri's character. If you're familiar with the character, she looks just like this, but she's in digital form. So this is supposed to be like a collab, basically, where Barbie is crossing over into her world and becoming a digital version of herself, like what she would look like. And then Noonoouri is crossing over into Barbie's world, and she would look like this if she was a doll, basically, is what we're looking at here. I love the concept. Hate all this pink, but it's Barbie X Noonoouri, so of course they're gonna just shove pink down your throat to the death. So yeah, that's one thing I would probably change about this set. I would have liked to see them in more neutral colors. Maybe the box not this bright pink color, but because I don't know how I'm supposed to display this thing. I want to keep them in the box once I restyle them, but like, bruh, where am I supposed to put this? It doesn't fit in with my collection, no how. But whatever, let's go ahead and unbox these. We're going to take them out. We're going to restyle them today. I haven't seen them yet, so we're gonna look at them together. This thing is so heavy, oh my gosh. Either it's heavy or I'm just weak. If you're wondering about the doll over there on the side of the box, that is the Joanna Gaines Barbie from the Inspiring Women series. I did a review restyle of this doll, so if you're interested in learning more about her, which is a Target exclusive, then watch my previous upload, which I will have linked at the end of this video. Oh my goodness. Oh, that took so long. Oh my god. I'm tired. I need a nap. I need a break, okay? I need to catch my breath. Yeah, I've got her video linked at the end of this video, so you can click on it and watch it if you are wondering about this doll's details. Moving on. So they're in this box that has them looking like a freaking museum exhibit, which is amazing. I so wish it wasn't pink. Like, you don't understand. I wish the whole thing could have been silver. That would have been awesome. But whatevs. You get what you get. Now, these dolls retail at $150 whopping dollars, but I ain't about to pay that much for no 2 dolls, especially these dolls that are very experimental. I wasn't sure if I really wanted these dolls because they're so not like the usual Barbies we have, you know? It's a completely new style, new sculpting. They've got inset eyes. It's unusual for Barbies to be produced like this. So I was kind of like on the fence about whether I wanted them or not because I can't imagine how these would fit into my collection right now. But these are going to become historical pieces later on, and you know, we're going to be looking back 10 years from now and saying like, remember those Noonoouri dolls? Oh my god, you have those? Like, it's going to be like that. So I knew at some point I did want to add them, but I didn't want to pay $150 for it. So I was just going to risk that they would sell out before I could get my hands on them. But this Thanksgiving, there was a Black Friday sale, massive sale. I got so many dolls during the sale. And these two happened to go down to 50% off. Of course, I had to take advantage of it, but I am so pissed that I didn't know about the code, the extra code to get another 15% off on top of the sale price. I was so mad. But whatevs, it is what it is. Alright, I don't think I want to do a whole review of these dolls, you guys. It's not that serious. I want to just explore their features a little bit And these dolls, you can't open the box from the top. You have to loosen them from the bottom of the packaging. So I guess I have to go ahead and do that. Let's free them from the box. Look, there's a mirror in the back of the box when you take the plastic inserts out. That's so cool. Hey guys. So the significance of the stands is that they are designed in a way so that the dolls can like be side by side, and you can line them up together, and then it'll make like an oval shape, which is very clever. But these girls can't do that right now because of Noonoori's bulky dress, which takes up like the width of the entire box that they come in, basically. Let's look at the dolls one by one. The thing that caught my eye about these dolls, other than of course these unusual faces, is their bodies, because Mattel also sculpted brand new body styles for these dolls. And I'm very curious about the difference between these bodies and the ones that we normally see on articulated dolls. Curious to see if they can fit into the same clothing or shoes, and what kind of mobility the bodies have. Like, I already see a lot of detail in the sculpting here of the shoulder blades and the arms. They look kind of like, you can kind of see like the musculature of the arms. I'm guessing that they based it on the digital character and the way that that character looks. Guys, listen. These dolls were designed by Carlisle Noonoouri, and y'all already know, if you follow me over here for a long time, Carlisle is one of my favorite designers at Mattel. Okay, but I'm assuming he had to collaborate with Noonoori's creator in order to kind of get the styling that they wanted to go for, like to put some of his vision into the design of this doll. And what is this? What is this? What is this? I thought she was supposed to be like a fashion model or something. What is this? This dress, I mean, it's not flattering to anybody's figure. It just looks like she's wearing like pom-poms all over the place. I have no words for this dress. I don't like it at all, okay? It's very confusing, and it doesn't help that the whole thing is like shades of pink. It's so not my vibe. So you better believe I probably will never use this dress on any doll unless like I surprise myself and find a doll whose silhouette I don't mind putting this dress on, but I doubt it. So I'm not interested in this dress at all. I'm going to take this thing off of her because it's very distracting, and I feel like you can't really appreciate the silhouette of this doll in the dress. Now I do like that they gave us snap buttons back here and not Velcro. Good Lord, if I never see this dress again, I will not be missing anything. I might end up putting this one on eBay. Alright, now this is more like it. This is the dress that's underneath that hideous one. This is fine. Like, I'm okay with this. They did not have to go that hard, okay? Y'all doing too much. And the earrings, these earrings are also like a different style than what we normally have with Barbie dolls. This earring isn't the bulky plastic. It's just like a regular earring, and Integrity Toys dolls also use these kinds of pins for the earrings, so that's different. So you can't use regular, see how small the holes are, regular earrings from your Barbies on these dolls. But that's no problem, because I just stayed up all night long the other day making a bunch of earrings for my Barbies, for the ones that I have to pierce myself. The eyes are a very interesting focal point with these dolls, because I think this is what makes them so controversial, is that people are like 50-50 about the eyes. Look at this. You can see the ring light being reflected in her eyes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, these eyes are inset eyes. People who are more familiar with like ball jointed dolls, I think, are probably more attracted to dolls that have these kinds of eyes. Remember the Liv dolls from back in the day? Those dolls also had inset eyes, and they were kind of popular. We don't really see this too much with 1/6 scale fashion dolls. This one is brown, and she has like makeup all around her eyes, and then her nose and lips are super tiny compared to the eyes, so the eyes basically take up most of her face. One of my longtime viewers, Miss Lou, left me a comment basically sharing her opinion about how these dolls did not really fit with her collection, so she wasn't interested in getting this doll. And that's a sentiment that I hear a lot from a lot of different people in the doll community right now, and I totally get it, because that's what makes me adverse to buying certain dolls like Rainbow High dolls, Monster High dolls, I really like the way that they look, but they just don't fit with my collection. So I can't do it. They're too fantastical for me. But these dolls, to me, this feels like what I would expect from a fantasy doll in Barbie's world. Like if in the Barbie universe, aliens were real, I feel like they would look like this. This is an acceptable level of fantasy for me, but I also agree with Miss Lou that these dolls don't really fit into my usual collection either. There's such a contrast in the way that they look, but because their bodies are so similar, you know, it's the same rooted hair and all of that, I feel like I can kind of get away with it with these dolls. So my intention for these dolls was not really to display them with the rest of my collection. They'll have their own separate display, especially because I do want to use the box to display them in. And where is that gonna fit? Like, I'm not about to have the box with a bunch of other dolls around it. It will need its own shelf almost. So that's what I'm intending to do with these. This one comes with a little purse. It does open. It's fabric. And also we have fabric boots. Yay. See, Mattel can do it. But it doesn't have to cost $150, okay? Wish it wasn't pink though. But anyways, I'm excited to try these boots on other dolls too. And also she's got painted nails. And I don't know if her feet are painted. We're going to take the boots off and see. Now let's look at Barbie over here. So we already know she comes with this long, giant ponytail. I do feel some gel in the ponytail. It's kind of stiff. And she has gel in her bangs, but not the rest of her hair is really soft. I see there's 2 tones of blonde in her hair. There's like a real light one and a kind of dirty blonde kind of like mixed in there, which I really like. Her eyes are blue, so I'm glad they didn't use the same colors for both of their eyes. And you see that she's got these big giant earrings on that have different shaped gems in them, which is really kooky and strange, but that just adds to the strangeness of these dolls. The strangeness about them is what I like about these dolls. They're very unusual. Just like Noonoouri, Barbie has these humongous eyes and tiny lips and nose. So she's kind of matching her aesthetic. So we're basically having to imagine that this version of Barbie transformed into her. What do you guys think? Do you see it? Does it seem believable? Or not really. I love that this one comes with a necklace, and this is actual metal here, not plastic. That's nice. I don't see jewelry on these dolls other than their earrings, and this one's a necklace, so I guess that's all you get. I wish they would have come with more pieces though. Like, instead of that crazy wild dress, I would have liked to see her with more jewelry on. Whatever. For her outfit, it looks like she's got 3 pieces on, so this is a little jacket on top. I think this is a bodysuit under here. And then these pants that flare out at the bottom. And it's super shiny. And it looks like this one opens with Velcro here in the back. And then her shoes. We've seen this mold already. I think this also came in the clear color with the Barbie Basics You Create kits. One of them. And I see here that her toes are actually painted. It looks like both of them have the same nail color. I think this is a shade of pink. But my eyes are bad. To me, they look purple. I'm probably wrong. Here's a better look at her heeled boots. Very nice fabric. Super shiny. Only this part, the sole, is plastic. Everything else is fabric. And the seam goes up the back like that. Like way up her thigh, bro. Very, very long boots. I like it a lot. They're even labeled on the bottom with letters. So you can see one says L1 and the other one says R1. So there's a left and right foot. Unfortunately, Miss Noonoouri does not have painted toenails under her boots. Kind of a missed opportunity there, Mattel. Why are we skimping out? Like, I don't care if the boots are covering her toes. For $150, you can put a little paint on her toenails. I should not have to do that myself. And here's the rest of her body in the mold. It's very different than what Barbies look like normally. The body is, you know, the usual hollow kind of like plastic kind of body, but she has a chest plate. We haven't seen those in a while other than with Made to Move dolls. And she's got single joints in the elbow. Her wrist moves, her hips move. Let me see how you sit. Do your legs spread out? No, not too bad. And the knees move 90 degrees. and of course the ankle joint. But these ankle joints don't feel flimsy like my Made to Move dolls always do. Actually all of her joints feel very stiff, like I really have to like force it to move. So I like that because she can hold her pose, and like I'm holding her by one leg here and she's not flipping backwards like a Made to Move doll would. I'm also noticing her head seems like it's so low on her neck, like compared to this Joanna Gaines doll here. See how the head is like up higher on the neck, and hers looks like it's closer to her shoulders. She's very short too compared to Barbie, more like a petite sized doll. Here's one of my petite dolls next to her, and they're about the same height. I took off all the accessories on the dolls so we could get a better look at them without getting distracted by the accessories, but I don't know how to take this off. I don't see anywhere where it opens up. So like, does it just stay on all the time unless you remove the head? I don't know, but I don't plan on removing her head, so I guess she's just always going to be having the necklace on. The shirt underneath was a bodysuit. Her body is similar to Noonoouri's. The knees are very like different sculpts than what I'm used to seeing. I didn't like though how when the boots were on, you could see these little ridges in the knees through the pants. So that kind of bothered me, and you see down here where the ankles are as well, they're kind of like bulky at the socket area. I don't really like that. I wish it had been a more smoother transition between the joints, because I mean it looks good when you have them in something short where you can see the joints, but if you can't see the joints but you see the imprint of their joints through their pants, it looks kind of weird. But both of them have a very small bust compared to what I'm used to seeing on Barbie dolls. There's barely anything there from the side. When you look at Noonoouri's character online, she is built like this. She looks like this. She's supposed to be representing an 18-year-old teenage girl. So I think they did a pretty good job of duplicating this character. And the arms do look a little bit more like sculpted. I don't want to say they look muscular. They just look more sculpted than what I normally expect from a Barbie. Yeah, I do see some differences here. What about the back? Here's how the back of the doll looks. You can see here the bone structure and the spine. It's not a bad look. I think you could get away with doing some really interesting outfits with these dolls, just showing off the body sculpts if you can find the right clothing pieces to do that with. But these shoes that came on Barbie with the kinds of feet that she has, these feet are like a different shape than what we normally see with our Barbie dolls. It's a little bit flatter up here, like it's a little different, but it could be an optical illusion. I'm not sure. I do think they're the same size as a regular Barbie doll, so they should be able to fit into Barbie's shoes. But for some reason, just her shoes were like torturous to get off of her feet. I don't know why. They just didn't want to come off. Well, Miss Rojas here has volunteered to try on the clothes that came with Barbie to see if it will fit on a standard sized Barbie body. Most of us have at least one Made to Move doll in our collection, so I'm using her as a model to test. I'm telling you now, this barely fits her. Like for sure, the chest area is much bigger on a standard Barbie than the dolls in the set. I really have to like squeeze her in here, and you see the shoulder, the strap keeps trying to like roll down because it's struggling to stay up. I had to really pull to squeeze the Velcro closed. It's super tight on her. There's no stretch to this fabric at all. And can you tell that it's like mesh here? You can see through it a little bit. I like the design of it a lot though. And here we can see that Noonoouri's long pink boots do fit fine. I think the silhouette is much better too. It looks more sleek, a little bit more smooth where the joints would be. So I probably would use these boots on Barbies rather than these dolls. That's the verdict on the boots. And my curiosity can't resist but to test these on a tall Barbie's foot too. They work from the front, but from the back, not quite. The heel is not going to be snug in place, but it's very unnoticeable. You can get away with it, at least for photo shoots, I think so. So Rojas is wearing the rest of Barbie's outfit, and it looks like she can fit everything just fine except for the undershirt that is really, really tight, but definitely you can squeeze her into it. I feel like it's probably better suited for a petite doll with a shorter torso, but who cares? They're dolls. She's not gonna be like sitting uncomfortably in it and then feeling like she's gonna bust out of it like a real girl would. This is one of my favorite Odile sculpts in my collection. She's the Walmart exclusive holiday Barbie from 2020. Was it 1 or 2? One of them years. With the side glance turquoise eyes. I had another one boxed and I recently sold it on eBay. What was I thinking? Oh my gosh. Ugh. But I was like, let me not be stingy because what I'm going to do with it. Oh Lord. So yeah, I love this doll so much. She's one of my favorite dolls. But quickly, I just wanted to address how it seems like there's some difficulty in pronouncing the name of the sculpt. I didn't know that it was such an uncommon name, but a lot of collectors are wildin' with the pronunciations. We got Odile, Odile. Like, I don't even know where they're getting these pronunciations from, but Odile is a French name, and the character is supposed to be from, what is that? I think it's a play, the Swan Lake, is that what it's called? It's up here on the screen, but yeah, there's 2 characters there, Odile, and the other one is it Odette? Yeah, these are French names, so I just wanted to share the pronunciation with everyone so that we're pronouncing the name correctly so we can properly identify the sculpt. Odile. Okay, thanks. All right, Rojas, we're done with you. Goodbye. Now we have Miss Barbie dressed in a new outfit. So here, let me tell you what's making up this outfit here. So we basically got the main piece is a dress, which actually came on a Mimi doll that I had purchased a while back. I felt nostalgic. I wanted to see if I would feel the same way about a Mimi doll, which I used to play with when I lived in Korea as a little girl. And so I wanted to see if the quality had gotten any better since I was playing with those dolls. And no, they haven't, but the clothing was really nice. So I kept the clothes, got rid of the doll. I swear I paid like $100 for that damn doll and it was not even worth it. She was like just bald as hell. And this dress came on that doll. So it's like a cute little white dress with lace details, a pink bow in the front, and it velcros closed in the back. And it has like clear straps here. You can't really see them, but that's basically how the dress is configured. And then the skirt portion of it is 2 layers. There's like a chiffon in the front and then another layer underneath. And then under this dress, she's wearing the tights that came on Barbie Style Deluxe with the Millie sculpt from, was it, I forget which wave, but the one that has the pink dress. She's got some white sandals on that fit okay. They're a little bit loose, but we can live with it. And on top, she's got a jacket, which came in a Barbie fashion pack, I think. And even though this dress is kind of girly, I wanted to kind of tone it down with the jacket to make the outfit look more casual. And she's got Noonoouri's purse that she came with, along with Noonoouri's earrings, and of course her Barbie necklace that I cannot figure out how to get off. But I don't need to get it off. She's fine wearing it. So that's Barbie's new look so far. Let's talk about Noonoouri's outfit. So this one starts off with the dress that came on that same Barbie Style Deluxe Millie that I was talking about where the tights were from in the last outfit. It's got a giant bow in the back, which is really adorable. It's a shame that it can't really be seen that well from the front because I think it's like a nice accent on this dress. And it's just a little poofy dress, but I thought maybe it would look okay on Noonoouri just because she's so short. This dress feels like a dress that should be on a little petite doll. So it's got a very cutesy style, and most of my Barbies, like I mentioned so many times, they just look like casual, everyday women. So it's unlikely you're going to see them dressed in very cutesy styles. So I thought these dolls would be fun to dress that way because I have so many clothing pieces that are very cute kind of looking clothes that I never use because I don't like to dress my dolls that way in general. But underneath this, she's got a little crop top, tank top kind of thing that came with a fashion pack from Barbie Style. And then with that, she's also wearing the skates, which originally came with the Joanna Gaines Barbie. And I think it goes nicely with this pink coated outfit. And her earrings, she's wearing my original earrings that I made for my dolls. And I just threw her hair up in a side ponytail to make her look even more playful and to kind of match Barbie's high ponytail look. So something I appreciate about this set is that the stand connects so they can be side by side with each other and pose the dolls together so they never look lonely. And that's another reason why I like this set, is because you get two dolls together. So if you're gonna branch out and try something completely new and strange, I feel like it's just very fitting that the two dolls come together like that so that they don't look lonely in your collection being the only doll that looks like this. Because who knows if we'll ever see any other dolls like this in the future for Barbie. So if you were like a fan of this style, this might be the only opportunity you ever have to add a doll like this to your collection, if that makes sense. So I like that there's a pair of them. And I don't know about you guys, I'm, obsessed with face molds, but I'm looking at their faces, trying to determine if this is the same sculpts that they use for both dolls and they just did their makeup differently to make them look different. But to me, I see a difference in the sculpt, especially in the jawline area. It looks different to me. I feel like Barbie's face has a shorter chin and narrower jawline compared to Noonoouri. And the width of the nose seems a little bit different to me. I feel like Noonnouri's is slightly bigger, but it could be a total optical illusion based on the fact that they have different makeup looks, but that's just how they look to me. So if they are the same sculpt, I like that they both look like distinctly two different people and that you can't really mix one up with the other one. Like, it doesn't feel like to me she's just a blonde version of that doll, if that makes sense. But I don't know. Maybe it's just the styling of the dolls altogether. Who knows? So what do you guys think? Are these the same mold that they use for both dolls? Do we have confirmation from some official Mattel source saying whether or not these two sculpts are the same or different? I'm just curious about it. So if you know, leave it in the comments. And I was thinking, right? Like, what use are these dolls in your Dollyverse? Maybe they could be mannequins. Like, they don't look like everyone else in your Barbie world. Even an Integrity Toys doll still has a very realistic look. So they blend in good with your Barbies. But these dolls look so fantastical compared to a normal Barbie. So I was just trying to think how could you use this in a set or, photography? What can you do with them? I think they might make good mannequins. So I could see these dolls being dressed in a boutique or a clothing store set, and your dolls just kind of walking by them and admiring them for the clothes that they have on as little models, and then, stacks of clothes, racks of clothes around them, and they're just life-size mannequins. I totally could see them being used this way. What do you guys think about using them in that way as inanimate objects in your doll world? Life-size statues or mannequins. It's just a thought that came to my mind of how I would realistically want to use dolls like this if I wasn't going to use them as characters that are interacting with my dolls. So what do you guys think about that? Tell me in the comment section if that's a good idea, or if you thought of any other ways that you could use these dolls while also making it make sense that the dolls look completely different than everyone else. Also, they could be like futuristic android robot girls who aren't really humans and they're not sentient, but they can still interact with your Barbies because they're I don't know, maybe they're friend bots, your doll's companions, or they're household help maybe, and your doll is bossing them around and they're totally robots. I could see them being used that way too. Just, I don't know, I'm trying to get creative. So you guys tell me what you guys think. What do you think of my restyles of the dolls, and how do you feel about the clothing that these dolls come with? To me, Noonnouri's dress is just hideous. But that's just my own personal take. It's very runway style clothing because I can't imagine anybody coming out the house with something like that on. Nonetheless, I guess it has its fun value where you need it, and it's also relative to your own personal opinion, but that's just my opinion. But everything else that the dolls come with, I love, and I'm so excited that I'm able to incorporate everything else into my existing collection without it totally clashing. So that's it for me and my Noonoouri dolls. You'll probably be seeing them soon in my display tour video once I get them all kind of situated and figure out how on earth I'm going to fit their gigantic box on my display shelf correctly and have them in there the way I want them to look. Because the display box, not only is it huge, but because the cover of the box also takes up space. If you want to display the dolls in the box, you still have to find something to do with the cover because you can't really incorporate it into the display. So it's just something to think about, but I'll figure something out, and then you guys will be seeing that soon in my display tour video coming up. I'll see you guys in my next video. Check out my product links below if you want to purchase anything related to dolls that I recommend. And I'll catch you next time. Make sure you're subscribed so you can become one of our pretty people over here. Like this video if you liked this video. And I will see you later, Gator. My name is Gypsy. Thanks for watching. Have a dolly day.